Justice Department is in some trouble over its handling of the Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the consequences of their own actions. Oh yeah, and also, Achia just said that. This one goes back to the Threads of Fate prophecy. Yeah, do you guys remember that one? That one, I want to say it was in maybe April or May when Spirit showed me that vision of all of these different actions that the administration is going to be taking or has taken that are ultimately coming together to be the rope by which they hang themselves. And this one in particular was one of the Threads of Fate. And this also goes back to a message I've been sharing all along, that every single thing that this administration does serves major purposes. And I don't just mean their own nefarious purposes. You guys know, you've heard it by now. Everything they do wakes somebody up, number one. Everything they do gets walked back, canceled, and gets pushed back. You remember that, right? And finally, everything they do that they actually get away with becomes more the rope by which they hang themselves. And I know it's frustrating. I know it's heartbreaking watching them run amok and doing the horrific, heinous things that they're doing. I know. Justice moves slowly, unfortunately. But while these actions may not get talked about enough in the mainstream, everything they have been doing is being investigated, is being followed up by somebody. It just takes a minute before we see evidence of that, especially if those investigations are private and secret. And speaking of the Threads of Fate, and speaking of private investigations, a new op-ed in the Wall Street Journal is talking about a potential investigation into the Trump administration where at The Hague, the International Criminal Court. I think I talked about this a few weeks ago during the UN meeting when the president of Venezuela openly called on the UN floor. He openly called for a criminal investigation into Trump and how the administration has actively waged war against Venezuelan people in their boats in the waters just outside of Venezuela. As psychics and intuitives, we see things and we get pieces of information before they logically fit into the puzzle. They come long before even the actions they've taken lead to the outcome that you're seeing. Now, what's interesting is I'm pretty sure I've used the phrase crimes against humanity, and I've also spoken of war crimes, that these two things would be investigated by The Hague. And I was speculating as to, geez, anywhere you shake a stick, they're committing crimes against humanity. Like, just choose one. But it's very interesting that this op-ed piece in particular specifically calls out that. Now, when I had made that prediction, when I had brought that through, their actions in the waters outside of Venezuela hadn't even happened yet. Just another way that psychic information happens outside of time and does not follow a logical order, nor can we accurately predict when it's going to pop, when it's going to happen, especially if it hasn't even begun. So this is just another daily reminder that no, they're not getting away with everything. Not even close. And the things that they are managing to sneak through, to actually commit, gonna bite them in the ass in the end. Whew, I love to see it.